Good morning, church. Marcia and I would like to talk to you about the project that we're involved with. This project relates to Black history within the church.
As Morine says, we're looking at historical information that confirms the history of the church and its relationship to Black people or people of colour, and, of course, how these experiences shaped our more multiracial churches today.
Right, you might be wondering why Francis is here with us. Yeah, I'm sure you're all wondering about that. Marcia, what can you say about it?
Francis, would you like to explain to us how Black history impacts on you?
Yes, you might well ask why I am here, because obviously I am not Black. That is the point. That's the point. Because Black history is not something separate from British history. It's not something over there about people who don't look like me. It's about all of us. 40 years ago, historian and sociologist Peter Fryer said there were Black people in Britain before the English. This is true. There were Black Roman soldiers on Hadrian's Wall in the 1st century. The Emperor Servius Septimus died here in York in the 2nd century. The Ivory Bangle woman was excavated, and she was in the early 20th century. She is from the 4th century. The Anglo-Saxons, from whom the English get their name, didn't arrive until the 5th century. So, Black people have been here all the time. And when I studied A-level history back in the 1960s, shows how old I am, it was all kings and generals. And guess what? They're a minority. All history, British history is made up of minority histories, different groups, the rich, the elite, the poor, women, men, children, industrial history, agricultural history, Black history, Asian history, Chinese history, Jewish history, and we all make up British history. And so it makes up, Black people make up British history, the history of Birmingham, the history of Erdington, and our history in this church.
Thank you, Francis, for clearing that up for us. We can all agree that Black history is everyone's history. Right, a little insight about our experience of doing the project so far, including here at Six Ways as one of 7 Baptist churches in Birmingham. Morine, Francis and myself are the co-researchers, working with Gail, the principal researcher, to tell the racial justice story of the church since it was established in 1878. This entails research in the archives at Birmingham and Oxford to look at what's been recorded. At Birmingham Archives lately, we did not get some information that we expected to find easily, but on the other hand, we did have some surprising finds. Much of what we will achieve through our research could help place firm information on its historical records for the church in future.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Francis. Right, so this will be a storytelling primarily done by summarising the story of the first Black male and female church member, deacon, and pastors, if applicable. We already know the stories of some key members of the church, both past and present. It may surprise you to know that some people came directly from the Caribbean to worship in this church, and this church is one of the first to welcome people and to employ a pastor from Jamaica to help people to settle in. We found evidence, as Marcia said, in the archives, very difficult to find things because of the way things are written, and some things are so brief you could easily miss them. But it's a labor of love. We really want to share the real history of England and our presence here since the break of dawn. There are some history that I have to share with you right now. There was an interracial couple that worship here, and they set up the first nursery or play group that include all the races. Anybody who was attending the church and had children, they would mix together. Mixing together was not something that happened on a regular basis, so this church established something that no one else had done at that time. There is more information to be found. There is a website that you can go to, and I think it's going to be on the news sheet and possibly it will be in the magazine as well. Do anybody want to ask any questions? Okay, thank you very much. No, seriously, does anybody want to ask any question? Any burning question? No? Okay, I gave you a second chance. I'm handing over to Gerard now. Thank you. Hold on, Marcia wants to say something else.
Sorry, just a quick point. In the near future, I say, we're planning to visit the Angus Library and Archive, which is at Regent's Park in Oxford. And that actually holds the leading collection of Baptist history and heritage worldwide. So watch this space.
And of course, it's not a proper history of this church unless we have your memories. If you have memories or particular photographs or documents that you would be happy to share, please come and tell us. And we would really value those.
Yes.
Thank you, church.